Season 3, No More Nice. This episode is entitled, We Are Called to Be Peacemakers, Not Peacekeepers. Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is trying to keep everybody else comfortable? Not peaceful, but comfortable. And there's a difference, because peacekeepers spend their lives avoiding conflict, suppressing truth, shrinking themselves, managing perceptions, and emotionally shape-shifting just to avoid disappointing people. And if we're honest, a lot of us weren't taught peace. We were taught survival. Smile through it. Don't make waves. Be agreeable. Be accommodating. Be nice. Even when our nervous system is screaming. And somewhere along the way, we started confusing self-abandonment with kindness. But constantly betraying ourselves to maintain a false sense of peace is not emotional maturity. It's exhaustion with good manners. Because peacekeepers carry tension in their bodies. Our jaws are tight. Our chest is heavy and weighed down. Our mind is racing. And our spirit is tired. And it's not because we're weak, but because we've spent years emotionally managing everybody else while privately neglecting ourselves. And eventually, our body starts asking, when do I get chosen? And some of us aren't overwhelmed because we're doing too little. We're overwhelmed because we've been carrying emotional responsibilities that God never assigned to us. Because here's the truth, peacekeepers preserve appearances, but peacemakers, they confront what disrupts peace. And sometimes that is spontaneous, assertive communication or SAC. And this season may require us to stop performing niceness and start practicing being kind to ourselves and wholeness. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan, my best friend, my BFF forever, for real. I am a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, Texas, built in Los Angeles, the city of angels. I trained at Juilliard in New York City with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs and infomercials. And the first of the 450 DVDs and infomercials was led by none other than celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson, as I like to call him, G. Patizzle. He is the GOAT, who is known for training the Kardashian family. As a celebrity trainer myself, who learned from one of the best, some of my most notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, Amber Riley of Glee. And as a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who's the nicest guy, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, and Tiana Taylor, Justin Baldoni, and Issa Rae, to name a few, as well as Keke Palmer. I share my accomplishments not to toot my own horn, but to honor the millions of sacrifices that my mom is planting in me and planted in me so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I'm still becoming. So welcome to Cut to the Chase at 8, C2TC 8, H.E.R Circle, which stands for High Performing, Empowered Women and some men ready to thrive. So whether you're a mother, a single mother, a caretaker, an entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, working a 9-to-5 job, juggling 2 to 3 jobs, rebuilding quietly, or simply just trying to hold yourself together. And of course, the single mothers, that is what high performing really means. I think often we think about CEOs or corporate women, but high performing are all of these women, and that's me. And a lot of women that I know. And sometimes high performing is just simply trying to hold yourself together while growing through life in real time. And so this space is for you. So if you're listening and or watching, pull up a digital chair or a real chair and grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. It is a 15-minute micro-learning moment for macro-living transformations. And I am so overjoyed that you are here, because this is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, where we invite lots of grace in this space because we're living in some really interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body health, because ultimately that is our wealth, in microdoses for macro living. So make sure you join me twice daily for just 15 minutes, sometimes more, at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause, for a cause, for clarity, wellness, grace, and intentional decision-making, and giving yourself grace in this space, because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question to sit with, and hopefully encourage you to give yourself grace in this space with something practical, something grounded, and something we could carry with us. So wherever you're listening from, I want you to turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about. And please leave a 5-star rating, because it helps this space to grow, and leave a comment so that this is not a monologue, but a dialogue. So let's start by taking a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lean in today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8, C2TC8, Her Circle. Now let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready, set, and grow and go and be great. So again, the title for today's episode, we're called to be peacemakers, not peacekeepers. I think one of the hardest truths many women like you and I face, we have to confront this. Keeping the peace can quietly become an addiction. Not because we love peace, but because we fear conflict. So instead of honesty, we choose silence. Instead of boundaries, we choose accommodation. Instead of alignment, we choose emotional management. And eventually we become so focused on maintaining external harmony that we lose internal peace. And that's why discernment matters more than appearances. Because discernment asks, what is this costing my spirit? What is this costing my nervous system? What is this costing me to going on a healing journey and eventually becoming whole? And some of us have normalized emotional chaos simply because it's familiar. That dysfunction is familiar. And that's why the PPT audit matters so much. PPT stands for people, places, and things. Because our nervous system responds to what repeatedly has access to us. Some people keep us emotionally dysregulated. Some environments keep us hypervigilant, where we're constantly surveying what's around us. Some habits keep us disconnected from ourselves. And healing requires honesty about what keeps interrupting our peace. And everybody cannot have unlimited access to us. And I have learned this the hard way, because I am such a giver and a fixer. And if you're like me, we sometimes just have an open hand and an open heart to people who don't necessarily deserve that access. And that access could be in things that we share. And I'm learning to only share my ups and downs with my therapist and not people who are my friends. Because every relationship isn't meant to survive your growth. Because peacekeepers preserve comfort. Peacemakers preserve truth. Which brings me to key number 1. Peacekeepers suppress. Peacemakers address. Peacekeepers avoid difficult conversations. Peacemakers confront what disrupts peace. Let me say that again. Peacekeepers avoid conflict and difficult conversations. Peacemakers confront what disrupts peace. And there's a difference between keeping the peace and becoming emotionally responsible for everybody else's feelings. Because eventually our silence becomes abandoning ourselves. It becomes self-abandonment. And some of us aren't exhausted from life. We're exhausted from suppressing our truth, which brings me to key number 2. Our nervous system was never designed to carry everybody. Some of us have become emotional storage units. We're collecting bodies and collecting their traumas, their triggers, their depression, their anxiety. And we're holding everybody's trauma, disappointment, confusion, neglect, projections, emotional instability, toxicity, while ignoring our own needs. And that's not sustainable. That's survivable. And eventually our body starts communicating through anxiety, depression, exhaustion, resentment, through burnout, through emotional numbness. And this is why SAC matters. Spontaneous, assertive communication. And learning how to communicate honestly, clearly, and respectfully without emotionally collapsing afterwards in real time when that thing happens is something we have to practice. It's something that I'm practicing because healthy communication should not require self-erasure. Which brings me to key number 3. Real peace requires truth, not performance, not pretending, not emotional suppression, but truth. Because real peace sometimes says, no, this no longer aligns. No, I'm no longer available for this. No, I need space. No, I can't do it. No, I can't show up. No, I deserve rest too. And doing all of that without over-explaining, without guilt, without performing niceness. And some of us are entering a season where God is teaching us that protecting our peace is not selfish. It is stewardship, because our wholeness, our purpose, and our destiny requires alignment. And that alignment and that purpose will always disrupt performative peacekeeping. So before you go, I just want to say thank you from the bottom and top of my heart. It truly has been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you for continuing to give yourself grace in this space with me today. I am so genuinely thankful you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. So before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and 1 reflection question from today's episode. Key number 1, peacekeepers suppress, peacemakers address. Say that with me. Key number 1, peacekeepers suppress, peacemakers address with spontaneous, assertive communication. Key number 2, your nervous system was never designed to carry everybody. Key number 3, real peace requires truth. And our 1 question to sit with, where in my life have I confused avoiding conflict with actually protecting peace? So if today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause that you didn't know that you needed, if there's anything that I shared that pricked your heart or lit a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe to this podcast, download the episodes, share this with someone you care about, or leave a 5-star rating if you feel led, because it helps this space to grow and reach others who may need it. And please leave a comment so that this is not a monologue, but a dialogue. And before we close, I want to extend a gentle invitation. If you've been listening consistently, reflecting deeply, or feeling called to move beyond just listening into a community that is connected in intentional growth, I'd love for you to consider becoming a part of Cut to the Chase at 8 C2TC8 H.E.R Circle and be a founding member. And this will be a foundational community for those who want to build, grow, and heal together intentionally, honestly, and in rhythm. And those founding members will help shape what this space becomes, and I'd be honored to have you be a part of that beginning. And so remember, 30 new episodes launch on the 15th of every month for 15 days with twice daily episodes at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So thank you for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose for macro living transformations. Let's close with one breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. I am Madison Samone Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase at 8 C2TC8 H.E.R Circle for high-performing, empowered women and men ready to thrive. Circle. And you are ready. You're set to go and grow. Let's get clear and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours. Until tomorrow.